to be able to do is just pick out in something the v sub 0 and the h sub 0. And in science, we sometimes see these subscripts. V sub 0, if you see that, all that stands for is the initial velocity. And you're going to see it right in the problem. It'll tell you. In a second, we'll look. H sub 0, what do you think that stands for? The initial height. Oops, it's H. Okay. All right, so when we're finding today the maximum, what we're going to be doing is finding the vertex. So I'm going to just draw that here. Those two things mean the same. Now the first coordinate's going to tell you the time, because there's no x in here, correct? So the first coordinate's going to tell you the time, and the second coordinate's going to tell you the height. Alright, so here's what I mean by initial velocity. So let's say I threw a baseball. I am putting some velocity on that ball, okay? Right? I'm putting a force on it. That's what the initial velocity is. Sometimes I'll say, hey, what if I drop a rock? If I just dropped a rock, am I putting any initial velocity on it? No. So it's possible, just gravity, but you're right, Cody, so that's that negative 16. That's why that negative 16 is there in front. All right, so when I ask for initial velocity, that's all I mean. So let's read through the problem. Can you pick out something for me in the problem? Need to underline some stuff? Fine. Ooh, starting height. What is starting height? The same as. And where am I going to put that in for? For initial height. Okay, starting height. Good. Let's put that right here. This is going to be 610. All right, what else? Awesome. Initial upward velocity. 88 feet per second. And I'm going to put that right here. All right, so let's do our little equation then. Here we go. H of t equals, I'm not going to change anything. That's going to be negative 16 t squared plus, what am I going to put in that spot? Good. 88 t plus 610. Okay. Question so far? So now let's bring this back to what we've been studying. Where would I find the y-intercept? This, 610. It's not any different. 610. And then let's find the vertex. Well, how do we find the vertex? We do, I should write t equals negative b over 2a. Let's do it. So in the b spot is 88. So negative b over 2a would just be negative 88 over 2 times negative 16. Does that make sense? How I found those things. Okay, so let's, 2 times negative 16 is negative 32, or figure that out first. Negative 88 divided by negative 32 is 2.75. What that means is it takes 2.75 seconds for this firework to reach its maximum height. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right here. 2.75. How do I find the y-coordinate? Plug it in, and let's just put it in our calculators. Well, I'll tell us what to write. So it's going to be negative 16 times 2.75 squared plus 88 times 2.75 plus 610.
when I do that, I get 731. Would you confirm that you also get that? Okay, so I have 2.75, 731. So you guys tell me which one is the maximum height. 731 feet, and how long does it take to get there? 2.75 seconds. Okay, let's talk about how to graph, because these are really large numbers, right? So we're going to have to pick a scale, and we're going to just have to do the best we can do. So first of all, I'm going to make the time on the x-axis, and I'm going to do every 2 tick marks, I'm going to make a second. So here's 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Okay. And then second, 610 is pretty high, and I know it goes up to 731. So what do you want to use? Maybe a scale of hundreds for here? Yeah, I think that probably would be best. This is feet. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Okay. So let's go ahead and put the vertex on there. So 2.75, so here's 2.5. 2.75 would be halfway between 2.5 and 3. And 731, okay, I'm just going to do the best I can. I'm going to make it a little closer to 700 than 800. Okay, now, could I go over 1 second down 16? Does that make sense? If it was on there, it's really hard to see, so here's what I'm going to do. We could do that, but I don't know if I'd be able to tell it exactly. The other thing I'm going to put on there is the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept? 610. So 0, 6, 10. And I am going to use symmetry. Okay, so let's think about this. I'm going to use symmetry. So if I went 2.75 and another 2.75, that's going to be over at 5.5610. And then I just at least have enough to sketch my graph. This is a parabola, so we're making it U-shaped. Alright, it's going to continue to go down. Alright, are there questions on any of those things that we just did? Here's what I want you to try on your own. Would you try to pick out the initial height, initial velocity in the equation? I'll give you a minute to do it.